Everyone keeps telling you to just trust Allah with your provision. And you do. Honestly, you do. But that still leaves you standing there tomorrow morning, not really knowing what to do about it. So set the comfort aside for a second. Here's one thing, just one, small enough to carry under your tongue while your hands stay busy. It's the seeking of forgiveness. Istighfar, said 100 times over before the day gets loud. That's the whole practice, really. One phrase, 100 times, every single day. And I already know what you're thinking, because I thought it too. How could words that small change anything at all? Stay with that doubt for a minute, because it's an honest one. You've watched the videos. You've read the threads at midnight. You've collected more wisdom about money than any generation before you. And you're still lying awake, doing the same tired arithmetic. So, yeah, you are right to be a little suspicious of one more voice promising that words will fix it. So, I'm not going to answer that too quickly, because the answer isn't a trick, and it definitely isn't a spell. It's a change, and it happens in an order that almost nobody tells you about. There was a man I knew who was tired in exactly the way you're tired, and he didn't want another sermon. No, so he made himself a small, private bargain. 40 days, 100 times a day, no matter what. He wrote nothing down. He told no one, and he expected nothing to come of it. What he found by the 40th day was not the thing he'd gone looking for. And I promise I'll tell you the whole of it before we're done. But first, here's something even stranger. The one man who ever walked this earth with nothing at all to be forgiven for, the Prophet, peace be upon him, said this very phrase 70 times in a single day. Some days, 100. A man with a completely clean record, seeking forgiveness more often than any sinner in the market. Just sit with that for a second. Why would the one who owed nothing keep coming back to the door to knock? And the answer for both of them, the tired man and the sinless one, turns out to be the same. It's the thing nobody tells the seeker, who only wants a result. See, Istighfar was never mainly about the coins. Before it's anything else, it's a turning. Think about what a return actually is. It isn't a payment. It isn't some bargain where you hand over 3 words and Allah hands you back 3 coins. A return is what a child does when he's wandered too far down the market and turns, all of a sudden, and finds his father's face in the crowd. Nothing is bought in that moment, but something is restored. And that's what you're doing, 100 times a day, 100 small turns, back toward the one you'd drifted from, without ever noticing you'd moved. And here's the turn the tired man stumbled onto. When you spend 40 days coming back 100 times over, the first thing that changes isn't your bank account, it's you. The heart softens first, and the provision comes second. That order right there is the entire secret, and almost everyone gets it backward. Think about what 100 returns a day quietly does to a person. The complaining starts to go quiet. That eye you always had on the neighbor's gate turns down, at last, toward what's already sitting in your own 2 hands, and you'll notice it in small places. First, you sleep a little easier. The bill that used to make your stomach drop still arrives, sure, but it lands differently now. It's a thing to handle, not a verdict on your whole life. You catch yourself grateful for a meal you'd have swallowed without even tasting a month ago. That's the first harvest. And here's the thing, it doesn't show up in a number, it shows up in the way you breathe. And there's a promise waiting at the end of all this softening. One short passage where Allah hangs 5 separate gifts on this single act. Hold on to the number 5 for me. I'll open every one of them. Once the heart has actually begun to change, Listen to what is promised to it. In the Qur'an, in the chapter of Nu, Allah gives the tired and the parched of the earth one instruction and ties an entire abundance to it. Seek forgiveness of your Lord, for indeed He is ever forgiving. And then the promises come, one right after another. He will send the sky upon you in abundant rain. He will increase you in wealth and in children. He will make for you gardens, and He will make for you rivers. So count them with me: rain, wealth, children, gardens, rivers, 5 kinds of abundance. And notice that every single one of them is alive. Every one of them is a thing that grows, not a pile of coins locked away in a box. Rain, falling on ground that had cracked open from thirst. A garden, standing where a week ago there was only dust. A river, running right through what used to be a bed of cracked clay. Now read it slowly, and notice what it does not say. It does not say, recite this, and money will appear on the table. It says, turn back to your Lord, and watch the dead ground of your life begin to go green. The forgiveness comes first, and the rain only ever follows it down. And now you can finally understand the sinless one. He didn't seek forgiveness because he had done something wrong. He sought it because every single time he did, he came one step nearer to Allah, and the nearness, not the coins, was the whole point. He was teaching us that Istighfar is not the language of the guilty. It's the language of the ones who want to come home again and again before they've even wandered. If the heart closest till Allah still turned back 100 times a day, then 100 returns was never a punishment. It was a privilege he refused to miss. So here's the practice, laid out plainly, the way you asked for it. One thing you can start tomorrow with nothing but your own tongue. When you wake, before the phone, before the counting begins, just say it. My Lord, forgive me. Say it slowly the first few times, so it isn't just noise passing your lips. Then, let it ride quietly, under your breath, right through the ordinary day, while the kettle heats, while you sit in traffic, while your hands are busy, and your mind is free anyway. Count on your fingers, or on a string of beads, or, honestly, don't count at all, and simply let it run until the day pulls you away. Some mornings you'll reach 100 before the tea is poured. Some mornings you'll forget until noon, and start then, miss a whole day, and begin again the next. This is not a machine that shatters the moment you drop it. It's a habit of turning, and every turn counts, even the clumsy ones. And carry one more line with you, the one taught for the hour just after the dawn prayer. Ask, in your own words, for 3 things: beneficial knowledge, good and lawful provision, and deeds that are accepted. Knowledge that helps you, rizq that is clean, work that Allah receives. Seek forgiveness 100 times. Anchor the morning with that one small asking. And honestly, you have the whole of it. Nothing to buy, nothing to download. And understand this, it will not out-earn a reckless life, and it is not permission to stop working. It's the thing you do underneath the working. So, what happened to the tired man? 40 days on, he told me the money did change. A debt he'd braced himself for softened. Some work arrived through a door he'd never thought to knock on. But that wasn't the part he kept returning to. What he kept saying was that somewhere in the 3rd week, the ache had quietly left. Same salary, same bills, and yet the fear that used to sit on his chest at 2 in the morning had, without any ceremony at all, gotten up and gone. His provision hadn't swelled into a fortune. It had simply become enough. And a man who has enough and knows he has enough is a richer man than the one drowning in more. The rain had come, but see, it fell on the heart first. So come back now with me to where we started. You were tired of beautiful things. You just wanted one thing you could actually do, and here it was the whole time. Not a formula for wealth, a road home you can walk 100 times a day without ever leaving your chair, seeking forgiveness over and over until the ground of you goes soft enough to hold rain. So start tomorrow at first light, one phrase 100 times for 40 days. And then, like the tired man, don't stand there watching your account. Watch your heart, because that's where the first rain always falls, and everything green that follows from there.